Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Monisha.Chandrashekhar, currently pursuing my engineering in Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering, Bangalore, in CSE CY Cyber Security. Today I'll be presenting you about corrosion. So some of the overview of what I'll be presenting are: what is corrosion, then some of the types of corrosion with examples, and how to prevent corrosion. So let's begin this session. So, what is corrosion? Corrosion is the destruction of any material, especially metal, from the chemical reactions which occur in environment. The most common one which we know is rusting of iron. Now, let's move on with types of corrosion. The first type of corrosion is differential metal corrosion. Differential metal corrosion occurs when two dissimilar metals are in contact with each other and exposed to a corrosive conducting medium. The metal with a lower electrode potential acts as anode, undergoes oxidation and gets corroded, and the other metal which has higher electrode potential acts as cathode and undergoes reduction and protected from corrosion. This type of corrosion is called as galvanic corrosion or differential metal corrosion, where differential metal corrosion also has a name called galvanic corrosion. The rate of corrosion depends only on the difference in potential of the two metals. Higher the difference, faster is the rate of corrosion. Let's go through some of the examples. When iron is in contact with copper, iron acts as anode and undergoes corrosion, where copper acts as cathode and is protected from corrosion. Some of the other examples are tin coating copper vessel, steel pipe connected to copper plumbing, bolt and nut made up of different metals. The second type of corrosion is differential aeration corrosion. When a metal is exposed to different concentration of air or oxygen, part of a metal is exposed to lower concentration of oxygen becomes anodic and is undergoes corrosion, whereas the other part which is highly exposed to concentration of oxygen becomes cathodic and remains unaffected. This type of corrosion is called as differential aeration corrosion. Some of the examples are iron rod partially immersed in NaCl solution. Part of the metal immersed in solution is exposed to low concentration of oxygen, becomes anodic and undergoes corrosion, whereas the part of the metal which is outside the NaCl solution is exposed to more oxygen and becomes cathodic and remains unaffected. The third type of corrosion is waterline corrosion. It is observed in steel or iron water tanks partially filled with water. When a steel tank is partially filled with water for a long time, the inner portion of the tank below the water line is exposed to only dissolved oxygen, whereas the portion above the water line is exposed to more oxygen. Thus, the portion below the water line acts as anode and undergoes corrosion. The upper portion acts as cathode and is unaffected. A distinct brown line is formed just below the water line due to the deposition of rust. One of the example of waterline corrosion is ships which remain partially immersed in seawater for a long time undergo waterline corrosion. Now, the last and the fourth type of corrosion is pitting corrosion. This type of corrosion is observed when dust particles or oil droplets are over the metal surface. Pitting corrosion is due to metal surface is not homogeneous, external environment is not homogeneous, crystallography directions are not equal in the reactivity, environments are not uniform with respect to concentration. Pitting corrosion results when the portion of the metal covered by the dust, which is less aerated, becomes anodic and undergoes corrosion and forms a pit. The remaining area of metal, when is exposed to higher concentration of oxygen, becomes cathodic and remains unaffected. The last topic is prevention and control of corrosion. Corrosion can be controlled by preventing the formation of galvanic cells. on the surface of the metals. The methods to control corrosion can be classified as design and selection of metals, protective coatings. There are of two types: inorganic coatings and metal coatings. The third one is cathodic protection. Protecting coatings, like corrosion is prevented by the application of protective coatings on the surface of the metal. Thereby, the metal surface is isolated from the corrosive environment. Important types of protecting coatings are metal coating and inorganic coating. So, this is my presentation regarding corrosion. Thank you for listening and learning what is corrosion with me.